Oh hey, the war is over and it's time for the Galactic Empire to rise in Star Wars The Bad Batch. Caller. It's the place that we start episode 1 on. It's also a place I'm sure a lot of Star Wars fans are peeing their pants over right now, and for good reason. What's this? A young Padawan approaches, one who is assigned to return to the battlefield with reinforcements. Now, who are these reinforcements, you may be asking? Oh, what do you know? It's Hunter, accompanied by his pals Wrecker, Tech, Echo, and Crosshair, forming Clone Force 99. Yeah, we met these guys in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and just speaking for me personally, not to come off as harsh, but yeah, I didn't really care for them, but man did this show turn me around on that. I'm thoroughly impressed. You actually shattered my icy cold heart. Okay, I'm kidding. I didn't really hate them to any degree. I just didn't really care for them as much as I cared for Ahsoka and Obi-Wan and Anakin, and yeah, maybe that was a lot to ask for. Whatever the case may be, we have our main cast. Now we can move forward with fun adventures, right? What are we gonna do? Some references to the films, drink some blue milk, do a lot of fan service for hours on end? Yeah, so this show definitely doesn't fall into that trap whatsoever. Sure, Saw Gerrera, Tarkin, they're here. You know, memorable characters brought back to bring forth a sense of familiarity. But luckily, the show doesn't rely on that too heavily. No, the show is actually giving us a lot to enjoy on its own merit, and that's what I have to praise The Bad Batch for. Easter eggs and lore is all fine and dandy, but in this show, it definitely takes a back seat, and I think it's all the better for it. Yeah, what's brought to the forefront are characters, emotions, motivations, you know, basically everything needed for you to earn my trust and love for your brand. Star Wars The Clone Wars, do you think that show would have survived with just the fights and references to the films alone? No, it had to make you like the characters. Heck, on top of that, it had to make you like characters that you probably hated from the films. And it succeeded. But still, it takes on the job of wanting to earn our love for the characters. And I've gotta say, for what I'm looking for, it's doing a pretty good job. Oh, am I kidding? They're doing a great job. The show could have definitely fallen into that trap of, oh, just give them high action and we'll definitely win their trust that way. But no, I think the writers are pretty smart in knowing that we want an actual show. Yeah, this show delivers. It's firing on all cylinders, man. Yeah, it goes the extra mile. Each character has their own distinct personality. Something actually very reminiscent to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of all things. Come on, you got the punchy guy, the smart guy, the leader. You can't exactly blame me for walking around saying Hunter leads and Tech does machines. But you know, that's just the characters on a surface level. No, like, really think about this show. The war is over, and that's kind of been their entire life. Their entire purpose is to serve for the war, and now there is no war. How do you adjust to that? I mean, the show presents the question, and I don't know, I can appreciate it when an action cartoon wants me to think. If the first episode did anything for me aside from give me awesome action, I'd say that it opened the door to at least let me know that the room is there to answer these questions if they need to get around to them. Like, hey, the door's wide open. We can explore all these characters anytime that we want to. We don't have to sacrifice character to give you high pew-pew action. If you want high pew-pew action, you can get it and characters. We're freaking Disney! Hold on. What's this? I think we got a new character alert, folks. Oh, hey, Omega. Yeah, so as soon as this character appeared, I was kind of scared. I don't know, I just kind of felt like we were going to get one of two things. We were either going to get the really cool, energetic young character like young Ahsoka and early days of Ezra in Rebels and Clone Wars, or the Bad Batch just met their Jar Jar Binks. Look, I don't go into Star Wars things seeing new characters and hoping for the worst out of them. They've just burned me so many times at this point that I just gotta have my own reservations. Luckily, we don't have a Jar Jar on our hands. She's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like her dynamic with Hunter. She's pretty interesting from the little bit that we've scratched the surface of so far. And I think when we really start to unpack the full potential of her character, it's going to be a pretty cool treat. I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot more there that I'm unaware of right now. Oh, look at that, we met all the characters. Or, you know, the main ones that we'll be following here. Now that we've properly introduced ourselves, how about we go back and pick up the story that we started on? Yeah, remember that planet we were talking about earlier? Yeah, so there's kind of some crazy stuff going on over there. The episode opens up with the familiar territory with a familiar event. Good old Order 66. Okay, not good old, sorry. It's not good. It's pretty bad, actually. No, but me personally, I really like Order 66. I don't know, I like seeing different perspectives on how it went down. Not that I take pleasure in the pain of Jedi or anything, I just think it makes for a pretty interesting story concept. Now, some people might think they're stretching the plot thin, but I think it worked really well here. And again, like I said, I have a little bit of a bias because I just like the story from different perspectives. We get our little moment with the young Padawan that I was talking about earlier. You know, Caleb. He just lost his master to the freaking Order 66. So naturally, he's going to grow a bit more cautious being around the Bad Batch. Now we have moments of Hunter trying to calm him down and assure him that he hasn't turned. But yeah, I wouldn't exactly be able to trust it either. I mean, he's telling the truth though. All of them are pretty sane except, Crosshair. Yeah, that chip in his head is gonna prove itself to be a pretty big weakness. On Hunter's end of things, he can't find himself going through with the Order 66, so our little Padawan gets away. And we had this dude Crosshair come up to ask if he completed the mission, to which Hunter lies to save the boy's life. Curiosity amongst the team sparks about Order 66, so they do a bit of digging. They end up making their own discovery about the chips, how they work, transition into the Galactic Empire and Tarkin coming in to test them. And then of course, as I said, chip proved itself to be a weakness, and now we got our man Crosshair as a villain. Yeah, it's a bad day for the Bad Batch. Yeah, episode 1's pretty crazy. All in this episode though. Characters are being explored, worlds are being built. I'm hooked. You have me. For episode 1, I would say that the action was a huge driving force behind it. I can dig it. I expect them to keep up this same energy moving forward. I think I can be on board with it. Yeah, no. Episode 2 completely strips everything back, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is more of a character study than an action set piece. Now, I don't personally know the general consensus of episode 2, but I have heard here and there that some people were disappointed or just flat out didn't like the episode. Again, that's just in my small circle. For me personally, there was just one plot thread that I didn't think was too strong. We get a returning character cut from Star Wars The Clone Wars and a name drop of Rex, but we get to see his home life, a nice family living. Hunter has a thought that crosses his mind that maybe he should keep Omega here to have an actual life. And of course, it's very much that father-daughter relationship where he's like, no, my life is full of pain and sorrow. You need an actual life and family that can take care of you. And the daughter figure's like, no, but I chose to be with you. Come on now. I didn't think she was going to go literally beat for beat, word for word. I've seen this scene before. So I felt no emotional weight towards that whatsoever, unfortunately. But other than that, the episode was pretty good. Sure, there's a plot going on, as the world's shifting more into the Galactic Empire era. It's quite interesting to see this world that we followed in Clone Wars for so long, but the people in these suits that used to protect people be a little bit more rebellious, or villainous I guess would be a better word. But yeah, aside from all of that, the thing that really reeled me in was this episode just took the time to say, hey, even though we're an action cartoon, we can slow down and enjoy these characters for a while. It doesn't have to sacrifice good character moments just to make sure that you're not bored. This misconception sometimes that if you ever spend time trying to develop a character and there's not something exploding on screen, you won't have any interest. No, you can just make character development interesting. That's always an option. I really respect the fact that this show seems to understand that. I kind of talked about that before, but this episode really displays that mindset. Literally, one of the first things that happens in the episode is Omega touching sand for the first time and asking what it is. Sure, it may sound a little ridiculous, but in context with the scene, it's something really nice. It's pretty common to see fish out of water storylines taking a more comedic route, but I do like it when they take a more sincere approach sometimes. And I think it worked here, even if it was something as simple as her discovering dirt for the first time. Or maybe I'm being overdramatic and I shouldn't be reading into the scene too much. I don't know, I liked it. I don't know, I guess I've just always been one to appreciate little things like that, little character moments. It goes a long way for me. Episode 2 is one that I don't really want to dive into too much. You know, I spoke on the character moments that I really liked, but aside from that, go watch this show. It's really good, man. I've been talking about the lack of action cartoons here, but Invincible and this are really scratching that itch. Bad Batch explains perfectly why I love Star Wars. I don't know, I think Disney Plus is doing something really cool with Star Wars that's kind of reinventing it, but not straying too far away from what I love to begin with. And at the same time, it's exploring new territory. Bad Batch hits when the action needs to hit, but at the same time, it doesn't sacrifice its characters. Sure, a character like Echo took a backseat in these past 2 episodes, but dude, we have a lot more to go, and I'm sure he's going to get the same treatment that Hunter and Omega and a lot of other characters got within these past few episodes. I'm excited to see everyone's journey, where they end up, the things that they go through, and I am locked in, and I will be here for it. So much so that I am planning on reviewing every single episode as they air every week. And I'd really appreciate it if you were here with me. We can talk in the comments section every single week about this show, have our own little community after we watch the episode, and just go bonkers. If tuning in every week on this channel after watching an episode of The Bad Batch is to your liking, hit that subscribe button and I will do it. Make sure to leave a like and a comment down below of your favorite character from these past 2 episodes, and I might just shout you out in the next Bad Batch video. I approached The Bad Batch in the same way that I approached Star Wars Rebels. I knew what I liked from my Star Wars animation. Clone Wars, and to break away from that was always going to be difficult. Sure, Bad Batch is even closer to Clone Wars than Rebels was, but still, it was there. But now I can rest assured knowing that I have a new Star Wars property that I've fallen in love with. and I hope the same can be said for you. As I said, man, subscribe for new Bad Batch reviews every single week on this channel. We are going to discuss and have a great time. I'll learn how to do these things in the best way that you want to consume them, and we will tailor make this to have the most fun as possible. But without further ado, I shall take my leave and have you sound off in the comments below. I've been Geekly, and may the Force be with you.